didn't work out as well. Hey guys, I'm Brad and welcome to my channel Square Run, where I document myself as a non-runner to becoming a marathoner in 16 weeks while giving you guys tips and tricks along the way. And today I would like to talk to you guys about beer and running. First off, before I get this video started, I like to say that I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a medical doctor, and these opinions about running and drinking is from my own opinion that I have formed after reading scientific articles. And if you want to change your nutrition in any major way, please consult a doctor beforehand. With that being said, let's talk about pre-run beers and post-run beers. But let's first talk about the pre-run beers. So before you go on a long run, the day before, the night before a long run, usually a lot of people want a carbo load. So there's carbs in beer, so let's ask the question, is carbo loading with beer actually a good idea for your big long run? And answer is yes, you can carbo load with your beer, but it's not really a great idea. So first off, there are some articles on the internet that say that 1 can of beer is equivalent to 7 slices of bread. Well, that's simply not true. If you go to MapMyFitness or any type of website that counts calories, and if you compare a can of beer to a slice of bread, you could see that a can of beer has the same amount of carbs as half a slice of bread. So since a beer does not have a lot of carbs in it, it's probably not a good idea to actually carbo load with beer. But let's say, whatever, I'm gonna drink 5 beers anyway, and I'm gonna carbo load that way. Well, you're putting yourself in a bad spot in the morning because you're gonna be dehydrated. And the reason why is because the alcohol in beer is a diuretic, which causes you to pee. So you're peeing out all your fluids and you're just gonna be dehydrated whenever you wake up. You know, that hangover feeling, it's just not a good way to start off your day before a long run, and I highly do not recommend it. Maybe a beer or 2 before a night, yeah, that's fine. It won't harm you, but yeah, 5 or more, definitely do not do it. You're going to be dehydrated, not a lot of carbs, not going to be good for your run. So let's get into post-run beer. So after a long run, it's well deserved that you drink a beer. Everybody likes drinking beer after a long, hard days of work, and after a long run, yeah, you do deserve a beer. But is it a good way to rehydrate? So after a long run, you're dehydrated, you need to rehydrate, you lost a lot of carbs, nutrients, minerals, and you need to get it back. And beer has all these. So a lot of runners think that beer is the choice to rehydrate yourself. Well, I did find a study that did talk about this, about exercising and rehydrating with beer. So in this study, it compared 4% alcoholic beer, 0.5% alcoholic beer, and water. So the person who rehydrated with 4% alcoholic beer after 2 hours of exercise saw that there was an increase in urinary output, a decrease in body fluid balance. So after 2 hours of exercising, he was basically dehydrating himself even further. And on top of that, there was a decrease in motor performance, so a decrease in reaction time and a decrease in balance. So that's just not good, period. While in those same aspects, the 0.5% alcoholic beer and the water had no negative effects. But what about the electrolytes, the minerals that are in beer? Like the sodium, the potassium, the calcium, all these are needed to keep you hydrated, and this is what you find in Gatorade. Well, the 4% beer and the 0.5% beer, they just don't have a lot of minerals. Yes, they have sodium, calcium, potassium, but they're in such low amount that they basically don't do anything for your body. So for those who just ran long distance and is using beer to purely rehydrate themselves, yeah, I highly don't recommend that. If you're drinking more than 5 beers to rehydrate yourself, you're just doing more harm to yourself. A beer or 2 after a long run, yeah, you deserve it, go for it. It won't hurt you, but 5 or more, do not do that. You're just hurting yourself and causing yourself to be more dehydrated. With that being said, there are these things called polyphenols which can help with muscle recovery. And a study shows that beer is actually a good source of these polyphenols. So what are polyphenols exactly? So I found another study that showed that polyphenols taken with vitamin C showed that there was a decrease in inflammation and a decrease in muscle breakdown after exercise. So it does increase your rate of muscle recovery. Also, another study shown in mice was an improvement in endurance by increasing mitochondrial DNA and increasing mitochondrial biosynthesis. And if you guys don't know what mitochondria are, these are the things that provide energy in your body. They're the ones that take in the carbohydrates and the fat and convert it to energy for your muscles to use. So you increase these mitochondria, you increase your energy and your endurance. Now, these studies that I just talked about, these studies were conducted after giving polyphenols to the subjects over a long period of time, like a couple of weeks, and a constant dosage of polyphenols. I'm not saying you should get wasted the night before or the day after a long run. I'm saying maybe drink a beer after a day of work, or drink a glass of wine before bed, because that'll be your source of polyphenols throughout the week. And hopefully those polyphenols can help you recover and maybe give you a boost in energy. Don't know, just gotta have to do some research on it. So with that being said, with polyphenols, which alcoholic beverages have polyphenols the most? So these polyphenols are actually derived from hops and malt. So the beer that has the most hops and malt are IPAs, of course. And if you're not a beer person, red wine has this a lot as well. And if you just do not want to have alcohol, and yeah, if you are a recovering alcoholic, yeah, I highly do not recommend you going back to alcohol. You could get these polyphenols through seasonings, like cloves has a lot of it, peppermint has a lot of it, dark chocolate, you can get it through milk chocolate, coffee and green tea, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that has polyphenols which are good for you. With that being said, take everything in moderation. I'm not saying the night before get completely wasted or anything. After your long run, after your marathon, yeah, have a party, have a good time, but try not to use beer to rehydrate yourself. Use Powerade, use Gatorade, use something that's high in electrolytes and good with carbs and everything. Get yourself rehydrated after that long run and then get wasted, or drink a beer or two to congratulate yourself. If you want to get these polyphenols in yourself, like I said, don't drink 5 beers a night or anything. Drink a beer after a hard day's work, or a glass of wine before bed. Get those polyphenols in you. And if you do not want to drink alcohol, there are plenty of substitutes that have polyphenols, like I said, cloves, peppermint, green tea, milk chocolate. So yeah, that is my opinion of beer and running. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, Square Run, where you can see myself as a non-runner to becoming a marathoner in 16 weeks while giving you guys tips and tricks along the way. Please subscribe to my Instagram, where you can see pictures of all my runs and times, and also follow me on Twitter, where you can ask questions and get to know me. Cheers, guys. Take everything in moderation. Have a beer after your long run. You deserve it. And have a good one.